Hi everyone, it's Janae from Magnitude Cheer. Today we are going to go over cheer. So we're going to go over motions and jumps today. So for motions, let's go ahead after you've warmed up and you've stretched and you're ready to go. We're going to go over different motions that you need for intro to cheer classes or cheer tryouts or cheer teams. Some are more popular in school cheer than in all-star cheer, but they are motions that we use in cheerleading nonetheless. And then we will go over jumps as well today. So today is motion and jumps for cheer. So first things first, clean. Stand right by your side, your toes are touching, your legs are glued together like a mummy, and your hands are right here by your side. If it kind of hurts to slap your side, we always say cup your hand, so it's a little bit like this as opposed to flat. It's still gonna feel it, but not as much. So clean, you should hear that little echo. Clap. Right underneath your chin. I always tell people it's kind of like you're praying. If you are able to get your elbows together, go for it. But right underneath your chin, kind of like you're praying, that's your clap. Clasp. You're going to take two letter C's and you're going to turn one of them and bring them together. So you can hear it traps more air. It makes a louder noise than your clap. Clasp. Much louder. Okay, so that's your clasp. From here, we're going to go into our cone. Cone, I always tell students, it's if you were a unicorn, where would your point be on your head? So from your clasp, don't unlock those fingers. Keep them right here. Bring it straight up. So you're kind of hiding your face just a little bit. You're squeezing. So from the side, it's straight out. Okay. With your child's clasp, be careful. A lot of times they will interlock their fingers like this. So we don't want to do that. We want to open them up and turn them sideways. So they're wrapping it around. Okay. So this is your cone. Again, in cheerleading, we have a gazillion different names for the exact same thing. So I'll try to go over as many of them as I know. So from your cone, we're going to take it out to the side. I'll back up a little bit so you can see me better, into your T. So your T is straight out so you look like a T. And from here with your T, I call these like big cinnamon rolls, big donuts, big Cheerios. There's so many different names. But you want to be, excuse me, as my elbow cracks, you want to be straight out to the side, right out here. Okay, so this is your T. From here, bend those elbows and bring them in. Your elbows are still up. This is your broken T or half T. Again, many different names in cheerleading for the exact same thing. Bring those elbows in, daggers. From your daggers, take them and cross them. So this is your little Cheerio, your little cinnamon roll. Basically, you're seeing the side of your pinky. If you put your pinky straight up and then bring it in. So you're seeing from the side of your pinky. So these are your daggers. Cross them. And it looks just like the letter X. So this is your X. Again, this is daggers. We're going to bring them up just a little bit, almost like you're going to go boxing, and it's called a box, because your head is kind of in this box frame right here. Punch them all the way up like you're punching the ceiling, and these are goalposts. Some people call it a touchdown, because if you kick the football right through the goalposts, you get a touchdown. So again, squeeze your head. It's not out here. They're covering your ears. They're lifting up. And again, if you put your pinky straight up, and then bring it right back down. So you're seeing that little Cheerio right there. So these are your goalposts, your touchdown. Let's go back to the letter T. Again, I know it's hard to see, but my T is out to the side. It's that big cinnamon roll right there. So here's your T. Bring it all the way up. High V. So for your high V, it's a little teensy weensy bit in front of you. We talk, especially with older kids, about peripheral vision. So if I'm staring at you guys right now, and I know I can see myself, but how far can I go? I can still see myself. I can still see, oh, too far. Okay, so where's that peripheral vision? So from the side, it's going to be a little bit in front of you. It's not straight back. It's not even out to the side. It's a little bit in front. So wherever your peripheral vision is. And again, it's that big cinnamon roll right there. So this is your high V. And then this, of course, is the opposite. This is your low V. Again, it's a little bit in front of you. That's your low V. Depending on which hand is up is your diagonal. So when I teach the younger kids, I don't go over right diagonal and left diagonal. We just call them diagonals. So one hand up and one hand down. Again, it's like this straight diagonal line. There's one of your diagonals, and here's your other diagonal. From here, I like to do my Ks. So we usually do this in a lunge position. One hand stays up, the other hand simply crosses your body. Now, how do you know you're doing it correctly? Because if you have the wrong hand in front, all of a sudden, you can't see your face anymore. So I always tell them, make sure that backhand is up so we can see your smile. So this is one of your Ks. Take it into a high V, and then let's switch. And then there's your other K crossing your body. We do a lot of letters in cheer. So one hand in goalpost, again, squeezing your body. There's that pinky right there. There's your little Cheerio. And then the other hand straight out to the side in a T. I'll move so you can see my hand. It's the big cinnamon roll right there. That is your L. Older kids, we can teach them an inverted L, which crosses your body. That might be a popular in a cheer to do an inverted L. So this is your L. And then if we switch, again, here's your pinky up here, and then your thumb is right there. So that's your other L. Again, for older kids, we could also do an inverted L, which is just simply right across your body. So let's see, we have L's, we have K's, we have V's, we have X's, so many different letters. We can sometimes do a bow and arrow. I tell them pretend like you're Merida and Brave, and you're like pulling that bow and arrow. So one hand is right here in your chest in a broken T, and the other hand is straight out to the side in your teeth. There's your bow and arrows. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, punches. So we'll do punch up, which is straight up. Again, it's your pinky right there. The other hand's on your hip. And you could do a side punch or a punch out. We want to rotate it and turn it. So now it's our pointer finger. And you can see my thumb right there. Okay? And then other side. So you've got your punch up and your side punch or your punch out. Please make sure, one thing we talk about in cheerleading is called broken wrists. So if their hands are like this, or their hands are like this, we call those broken wrists. We want that nice straight line when you're doing all your motions. So those are some different motions for cheer that we use a lot. And let's talk a little bit about jumps too. So how we teach jumps is how we do it in our gym for our teams. There are plenty of other teams out there that do them different styles, but we always teach our style. So we start with our toes touching, our clean. And on one, we clasp. Again, make sure they're not interlocking their fingers. They're wrapping around. So this is 1 right underneath your chin. 2 is a cone. 3, they stay together until you can't really stay together anymore. And then they kind of transition to one hand on top. And that's when we bend our knees. So that's the only time we bend is number 3. So again, our prep is a 1, 2, 3, jump up on 4, land on 5. So again, for your jumps, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's go over a T jump. It's not a real jump, it's a practice jump. I got to back up a little bit so you can see me better and I don't hit the dresser. But we are hitting a T. Our legs are staying together, so we literally look like the letter T in the air. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you land, I always tell them, land like a ninja. You want to land as quietly as possible. So you want to land toe heel. If you just land flat, not only is it really loud, but it's terrible for your knees. So we got to protect those knees. We only have 2 of them. So make sure you're landing toe heel. You're landing as silently as possible. So again, our T jump, try it with me if you're watching along, is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And yeah, we can put the head pop in there. We can land and pop up and things like that. It's totally fine. So that's what we call our T jump. Again, it's not a real jump. It is a practice jump. For our younger students, we often teach an X jump, where it's basically you're doing a jumping jack in the air. And the whole point of that is to learn to open your legs and close them before you land. So it's not a very popular jump. It is a very beginner jump, but you're basically hitting a big X in the air where your hands are apart and your feet are apart. So if I could freeze in the air, I'd be up here. And when you land back together. A lot of times in our younger cheer classes, we use these little colored dots and we stand on the dot when we start. And then when we're in the air, we're off the dot and we land back on the dot. I tell them our blue floor is like lava and only the coaches can land on it and things like that. So you're 1, 2, 3, hit, and back up. Okay? We always like to yell hit when we're in the air. That way we know we're all on the same count. So if on a cheer team you hear hit, 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 you know everybody jumped at different times. It's like those little things at Chuck E. Cheese where you hit them when they pop up. We don't want that. We want to be all at the exact same time. So it's 1, 2, 3, hit, boom. Some even cheer teams will add a land, stand into their routine. So that is your X jump. For our toe touch is just like that T jump. We land right here, or in the air right here, and we just make our legs open up at the exact same time to a straddle. So both feet at the same time, boom, are coming up and hitting your hands. I like to call it a hand touch, because you're not reaching down to touch your toes, because then we can't see your face. So you're coming up here, and you bring your toes up to your hands. What if you can't do that? No big deal. Work on bringing them up as high as you can, but never, ever, ever reach down for the toes. Because if you try to jump up, why would you reach down? So you're 1, 2, 3, both legs up as high as you can, and come back down. We'll go over some jump drills in a different video. I just want to go over all the jumps when you're practicing. So that's our toe touch. Our other jumps that are very popular is a pike and a hurdler. So for a pike, and this is one reason why we go over pike in all of our stretching, is both legs come up. So in this one, oh, I knew I forgot a motion, candlesticks. They're right here. It's like your thumbs are talking to each other. So those are candlesticks. When we do our pike jump, we're doing candlesticks. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in there, I tell them, put some glue between from one leg to the other leg, glue those legs together. It's like the Little Mermaid jump, right? When she was a mermaid, she could not open the legs to do a toe touch, so she could only do pikes. So it's 1, 2, 3, both legs at the same time, boom, come up together. And you're using your lower tummy muscles to get those legs up, and you're snapping them up as fast as you can and snapping them back down. Otherwise, you'll land on your tush. So we want to make sure that we're snapping it up and snapping it back down. Again, pike jump is 1, 2, 3, both legs up and back down. That is our pike jump. When your child's doing the pike jump, be very, very careful of 2 things. Unless their cheer team coach has told them to go down and kiss their knees, I like to do it like this so I can see their beautiful smile. The other thing is a lot of times to fold their body in half, they will stick their butt out to do it. So make sure that you're using those lower tummy muscles to bring those legs up and back under. We don't want the tush to stick out. We want to bring them under. So pull them up, like someone's taking your pants when you jump and pulling them up. Okay, that's how you want your pike jump to be. And last jump is our hurdler jump. We used to do Herkies back in the day. No one does them anymore. Poor Lawrence Herkmeyer. His jumps have kind of gone to the wayside, and now they're all about hurdlers. Pikes are often done to the side or to an angle because it's way cooler. You can see how much they're folding their body in half. So are hurdlers. So we're going to go 1, we're going to turn whichever way we do our hurdler. They are often done 90-degree angles, or they're done at 45-degree angles. So we're going to turn just a little bit. Whichever way you turn, that's the leg that goes out. So right now I'm turning this direction. That means this leg is going to be the straight one. So I'm going to go 1, turn, 2, 3. My hands are just like a pike. That leg is just like a pike. It's coming up as high as you can. And the other leg, it's not a split jump. It's bending. I know, back up so you can see it. It's bending, almost like you want to go hi-ya, hi-ya. Add some martial arts in there, right? This back leg is coming up and trying to kick your butt is what I tell them. So again, for your hurdler jump, if I'm going to turn this way, that's the straight leg. 1, 2, 3, in the air. This leg is straight. This other leg is kicking my butt. Now, when you jump, I don't care if it's amazing or it's a super tiny jump, land at the same time. So I always tell the kids when I'm teaching this, we do not want to land 1, 2. I would rather be the tiniest little jump, but they come up and back down at the exact same time. So 1, turn, 2, both at the same time, front legs coming up, back legs kicking the tush, and they land at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And same thing to the other direction. So if I'm going to turn this direction, this is the hand, this is the leg that's going straight. So 1, 2, 3. Again, that back leg is straight, and the front leg is the one that's kicking the tush. Opening at the same time, landing at the exact same time. If we hear, we know that they did not land at the same time. And again, jumps should land silent. So those are some motions. Those are some jumps. Keep practicing. We'll see you back in the gym very soon. Bye-bye.